2. Sound check 1 2 1 2. Should be good. What up, nation? What is going on, good people? Speed Tech, what up, man?
What up?
Yo, Speed Tech, what are you doing in the ATL right now, bruh?
Moving stuff.
Moving stuff.
Moving stuff, yeah. The area, man.
So let me ask you something, Speed Tech.
What?
What are your thoughts and opinions on the value proposition of Visible?
Visible, the new plan. Okay.
Well, just in general, just like Visible's position in the market, like as a industry competitor. What's your impressions? What's your thoughts on the company, the platform, the prices, the value? Like, where are you at with Visible?
I don't really see Visible as like a big thing, at least not for now. I don't see that many advertisements or people talking about it. But what I will say though is that the value is good on a customer basis. You do have the new plan that actually just came up, which is actually really decently priced, and you get travel passes that you can actually accumulate. So over the time, for anyone that travels, it would actually be a very good plan to actually use. So yeah, I mean, they're getting a lot more competitive when it comes to prepaid brand. Obviously, I have Total Wireless, so for me, it's cheaper to have Total Wireless. But for the people looking for the basic standard things they want, they'll be able to get it off of the new Visible plan pretty easily too.
So, with the international piece, now you're kind of thinking about maybe you might possibly use them at some point, like you would consider it.
Pretty much. I mean,
But
being able to
without
actually,
that, without that value, you weren't really putting them on your exploration of options.
not really, because on Total Wireless, I'm kind of getting better priority, and I would not probably not getting the same travel pass perks, but I also don't travel too much. So
Okay. Because we're probably going to have a couple of people join us here, and we'll talk more about the plans and the features. But those were kind of some good starting points. I didn't even really think about the travel pass too much, but I could see how some people might like it. What up, Los?
nope.
Ah, damn! Did we lose Los? Los, you in there?
Yep.
What up? What up, Jay? What up, man?
Yep. What up, Sneed?
What up?
What up,
All right,
Speed?
man. You know what I'm gonna do is we'll do a full overview of the plans and all that, and all the things that come with them. What a big term! What's happening? What else we got here? Max is gonna be here. Okay, cool. All right, Max. What up, Green? He said, when do you think we see millimeter wave and N41 for T-Mobile? I don't know, dude. I
Years
don't know
to
about
come.
that. Years? Damn.
Who knows? I mean, why haven't they enabled that already if they really wanted to do it? They were the ones that wanted to do meter wave first, and then how they pulled out. So they had a chance to do it.
What up, Ron? Akivo says travel passes make it a tremendous value. Great plans. He likes them. He said if he wasn't on T-Mobile, he'd be on this. Maybe you're onto something, Speed Tech.
Yeah, I mean, for the people that travel, that's a really good thing, because I mean,
Yeah.
being able to do 12 travel passes that you'll be able to save up, that's pretty good value.
Yeah, so it's interesting that they went in that route, right? So they, like, let's say you're on Visible for like 6 months. You've been using it. You like it, it's great, and then you decide I'm gonna take 4 days to Panama on vacation. Like, you got what, 6 days in the 6 months accrued from the middle plan? And then if it's the upper tier plan, the Visible Plus Pro, it's 2 days per month, so you'd have 12 days.
You know,
You wouldn't even have to like think or worry about getting a local SIM or doing whatever else you got to do. How much data do they give you while you roam too? The travel pass.
I'm honestly look into that one. I think it should be the same as Raisins, I think. I want to look.
It says access unlimited talk, text, and data, plus high-speed data with mobile hotspot. Once Global Pass is enabled, you'll automatically have international access every day you're away. Some of our plans include Global Pass days every month, and it's not included. It starts at $5 per day. So that's pretty damn good. Looking here. So regular visible plans, $10 for that feature. So you're right. It does let them build. It could be $12, 12 free days in a year.
If I wasn't on Total Wireless, I'd be invisible for sure.
The annual plan gets you 24 free days on the Visible Plus Pro, 12 free days on the Visible Plus. What does it say here about the network access? It says unlimited talk text within the country and back to the US when traveling in Mexico, Canada. After 2 gigs of data in a day, your speeds get reduced to 3G. So 2 gigs. Can you make it work?
Probably.
Yeah. That's pretty good. All right, let's do an overview of the plans, shall we? And if you guys have any questions in the live chat, you guys are more than welcome to ask. Okay, so the visible entry-level plan at $25. Nothing really changes here, so I don't really feel like we need to spend much time on this. I don't really remember how they had it structured, but the last I checked, and this is a while ago, they were doing the premium plan, which was normally priced at $45. They're running promotions for $35. And so is the Visible Plus plan essentially permanently $35, but now they just created the Plus Pro and they're charging $45 like as the everyday price? Is that kind of how it's
like
going?
it.
Yeah.
Definitely looks like it.
Maybe Max can speak to this. Max, do you remember the structure of the old plans?
So, yes. So, first off, I don't know how far we are in this discussion, but I'm so excited about these updates to the visible plans, and we can get into that later. The old plans were, the 2022 plans were Visible and Visible Plus, and Visible Plus was $45. Even before that, it was one plan, the cheapest base plan, which was deprioed. You didn't get very good features or access, and it was $25. Well, it was $40, but if you joined a party, you could get it for $25. And that was kind of the structure with it. And then they kind of realized that wasn't such a great structure, so they just made it $25 for one line. And then they started upgrading the Visible Plus, and then now we have a Visible Plus, and a Visible Plus Pro.
Okay, so then technically the Visible Plus Pro is the new plan.
Yes.
Visible Plus is an existing plan that just goes to the promotional pricing permanently.
Well, they did make some changes. They got rid of some perks, but they made the video streaming better. And I have a comparison chart to show you that I think will best explain this. So I'll share my screen real quick, show you this, because I think this is the best way to visualize the changes, because I've got the old Visible Plus next to the 2 new plans. I'm going to share that.
Okay. Because would the people who already have Visible be eligible to just quote unquote upgrade the plan?
Yes, okay. Automatically. They did the system change last night and the website change and this morning. So this is it. This is a screenshot from my video. So we got old Visible Plus, prioritized up to 50 gigs before you're deprioritized. Both new plans,
that's gone, right?
Right, so both new plans, including the cheapest one, are always prioritized on the Verizon network. This is the exact same top shelf access as the $90 unlimited ultimate plan that Verizon sells. It's the same top access as any other consumer Verizon plan. And so they upgraded the 720p streaming to 1080 on the cheaper plan, and they went up to 4K if you get the Pro. And then, again, $10 less per month for this one, $45 a month here, but they've also added additional perks. So there we go. The old one did include the free smartwatch line, calling to 85 plus countries, and a day of the global travel pass each month. the newer one for $10 less removed some of those, and actually I made a mistake here where it says $5 a month. That should actually be $10 to add a watch line. But then they added all those perks back into Visible Plus Pro, so it's still the same price to get the same perks, but they've upgraded it now so you can bank up to 2 free travel pass days per month. So if you pay for a year upfront, let's say you pay for 12 months consecutively, and then the year after you go on a trip, you've got 24 days of international roaming.
Bro, the value in the Visible Plus Pro is crazy.
It is. And also this $35 Visible Plus, like the fact that you can get unlimited, always prioritized access, unlimited hotspot in 1080p for $35 is crazy. But the international travel, the free watch line, yeah, $45 is also amazing.
Rest in peace, Boost.
I think about the customers that like want these plans.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me if this is right, Max. For like El Cheapo, like as basic as it gets, like doesn't want to pay anything more than what they absolutely have to for service, right? You got Visible as the base plan, right? $25. It's really just about getting unlimited talk, text, and data, and like not having to think and worry about anything, right?
I mean,
like,
yeah,
you want to pay $25 a month. Like it's not a value play. It's just $25 a month.
Right. It's an appeal to the price. I think there's better options for $25 because a deprioritized experience on the Verizon network is pretty brutal compared to getting a prioritized experience. And so what I would just say is just pay the $10 more and get the Visible Plus for $35.
But that's what I would recommend too. But like somebody will tell you, like I just want to pay as low as I can get. So
right. And for them, I would just say get a plan that's a better value for the same $25 price, because value is basically what you get for relative to the money you pay. The money you pay is in the equation when we talk about
value. What's a better value, or what's a better $25 to spend 25? What are you gonna get better and from where?
Yeah, so I'll show you that right now as well. So the first one, this is a limited time offer, but it is still going right now. So let's present this.
I'm gonna throw out Total Wireless.
Yep, you already know it. So save $25 a month. The plan's $50, so you get $25. Bring your phone, port your number in, and you'll get the total 5G unlimited plan for the price of $25 a month.
Tax and fees included?
Yes. And let's check out what you get with that plan, because that's the plan I daily drive. That's the plan I use on my personal number. Hey, it's a good plan. And like people always hear me talking about it. It's actually that good of a deal. So there we go. So $50 again, 50% off when you bring your phone. Unlimited prioritized data, ultra wideband, again, same top shelf access, 15 gigs of hotspot at high speed, which is even faster than the Visible Plus Pro hotspot, which is unlimited, but it's capped at 15 megabits per second. This is 15 gigs of full speed hotspot, so it's less of it, but it's at full speed. $200 off any new phone you want after staying for 12 months. That's with the total rewards. So basically, they're rewarding you for staying a customer. They're giving you $200 off any new phone you want. That could be an El Cheapo phone. That could be the latest iPhone after you stay for 12 consecutive months. International calling to 85 countries, texting to 200 countries, roaming in Canada and Mexico, roaming in 15 other countries. 4th line free, although if we're talking about 1 line, and then Disney Plus Premium for 6 months. $25 for this plan is unbelievable. Again, it's a limited time deal.
So that's the best value right now in prepaid at $25.
At $25, yes. Value for money wise, it is.
I mean, that is a lot, Max.
It is.
Okay, so from the network access, you're getting higher priority.
Same priority.
Higher video.
Oh no, higher priority. You're right. Higher priority than the
$25 Visible plan, right?
Yeah.
So you're getting higher priority. You're getting legitimately prioritized network access. You're getting like true high speed hotspot instead of it being like the throttled version.
Yep.
You're getting 1080p video stream, higher quality video res, right?
No, 720p. But it's also, but I think it's also still 720p on the base $25 Visible plan. So
it's 480.
Oh, it's 480. Yeah. So Oh my! I forgot about that. Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, 720 for
I believe 5G ultra wideband is 10 meg.
10 meg for video.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
So I think
the
that's enough.
network access is definitely better.
Yeah.
All the international perks that you get with the higher tier visible plan, they're included in this one at 25, right?
Well, with the exception of the roaming, because Total only gives you roaming in Mexico, Canada, and these other countries. Meanwhile, Visible, you only get between 1 and 2 days per like monthly payment that you can bank up in your account, but you can use that in way more countries. This is free plan roaming, but it's only in these countries plus Mexico and Canada also. So just these ones. So it really depends on where you're traveling.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm with you. I think the total promotional rate on that plan, if you can get that plan at that price, you're 100% right.
Yeah.
But when that price goes back to 50 without the promotion, I mean,
Well, so it's for existing customers. If you sign up right now at $25, they promise to lock that rate for 5 years. After 5 years, then you'll probably be back up to 50. And when the promotion ends, it'll be 50 for new customers. And at that point, for $25, there are still better options than the base visible plan. Again, my number one suggestion, if you just want the simplest option possible, just pay $10 more, get the visible plus. And you can use someone's referral code to get your discount off a first month. They'll probably do a bill credit deal like they typically do, in the coming months, promotions and stuff. Otherwise, if you're really locked on to that $25 price, and again, all you want is the $25 price, and you're less concerned about what you get for the money, then my next option is going to be this one right here. So I'll share that one. And again, by the way, all of these brands are owned by Verizon, which is kind of crazy. They're all basically the same thing. So if you're strictly only going to pay $25, then the next one is going to be the straight savings plan from Straight Talk, because it's basically the same thing as the base visible plan. So it is deprioritized and bare bones basic features, but you get the. So just for that alone, for the phone promotion, that's what makes this a good option.
the new device promo could be a benefit to some people.
Yeah,
the $100 whatever discount.
Yeah, I mean, if you got a nice phone right now, or maybe a phone that you're gonna upgrade sometime soon, you can bring it to this plan, have it on there for a year, and then get a new phone you want from Straight Talk for $200 off. So, nice.
All right, what I want to do for the folks is actually look at the network access so people can kind of understand. I'm going to go ahead and do my screen share here. Some of you guys were asking and kind of discussing this actually in the video in the comments, but let's go ahead and break this down. So if you are looking at the base plan, right? So just like regular visible, $25. All right. The network treatment, your place on the network. It says in times of traffic, your data may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Mobile hotspot with unlimited data speed, up to 15 megabit per second on the Visible Plus Pro, up to 10 megabits per second on Visible Plus, and up to 5 megabits per second on the Visible plan. Okay, so that's important because that's really basically how many devices you can connect. So it feels like the Visible base plan is probably like one device. Visible Plus could do a couple, and then Visible Plus Pro can do several. Look, I do not advise you guys to go out there and get these plans and then try to treat it like a home internet connection. That's just not what we do. You know what I'm saying? I can't recommend it, and that's not something I could encourage, Tim says there's something wrong with the audio. Is that right? Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, everything's fine. Yeah.
Everything's fine?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, Tim, I think maybe something's wrong on your end. If anything's wrong, anybody else can confirm it. Let's see here. It says performance will be reduced if multiple device access data through the hotspot simultaneously. Actual data speed, availability, and coverage will vary. All those technical things. Requirement 4 says 5G ultra wideband access, and a capable device inside the calling area. So that's going to be a big key factor. Like if you want to get the higher resolution video and those kind of things, you're going to have to, you're going to have to be on 5G ultra wideband. The LT is probably going to limit you, right? 720p, 1080p kind of deal. Visible Plus and Visible Plus Pro give you unlimited premium data on Verizon's network. No slowdowns due to DPRIO. For Visible Plus, streaming quality up to 1080p when using 5G UW, or up to 720p when on 5G nationwide or LTE. Visible Plus Pro, streaming quality up to 4K when on 5G ultra wideband, or up to 1080p on 5G or LTE. So that's kind of nice. So like it's giving you a reason to want to pay the extra money to be on the highest plan and then take advantage of the higher video resolution playback. Smartwatch plan currently only supports Apple Watch. 2 gigs a day when you're out of the country. Then speeds are reduced to 3G. It says call up to 500 minutes per month at no additional cost. What the hell are they talking about? They're counting your minutes? Is that right?
So. I don't think so. Does
It sounds like it's up to 500 minutes when you're roaming or something.
Oh, roaming. Okay, gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. By the way, does my audio sound okay? Because I was using my inbuilt.
You're fine.
Okay, I was using my inbuilt computer microphone before. So did it sound good before?
Yeah, you were fine.
All right.
It says never worry about overages or hidden fees with the minutes, messages, and megabytes you need. I think it's just talking about the network access. And then it says members who upgrade mid-cycle will not receive their complimentary day of Global Pass until the following month. So if you go from like the base to any of the upper plans, Visible Plus monthly and annual plan and Visible Plus Pro monthly plan members may carry up to 12 Global Passes at any time. So I was saying that after 6 months with the most premium plan, the Plus Pro, you'd have 12 days, but you can never carry more than 12 days. So
yeah.
Wait, I'm sorry. What about the 12 days need?
So you can only carry at most 12 days. So even though you're getting 2 days per month, like let's say you have the Plus Pro plan where you get 2 days a month. Well, after 6 months, you've got 12 days accrued. You can't get 14 days the following month. Like it's still only going to hold 12 days.
So, for example, if I'm going to China, Italy, Rome, or Egypt, or whatever.
It says here the annual plan will give you 24 days. That's the only way to get more than 12 days. You have to buy Visible Plus Pro and pay for the annual.
Oh.
By the way, that's a thing. They got the annual pricing and they got the monthly. So here's the way the monthly works. So 25, 35, and 45. And then if you go to the pay annually option, 275, 375, and 450. And the way that this pricing breaks down is you go from 25 a month on the base plan to 22.92. And then for the Visible Plus, you go from 35 a month to 31.25. And then where you save the most money is when you pay for the annual for the Visible Plus Pro, you go from 45 a month to 37.50 a month. That one actually makes sense.
Yeah. Sneed, are you a human calculator? How did you do the cents and all that?
Oh, dude, it's so easy, bro. What I do is I take the total number and I divide by 10, and then I count for the 2 months that I didn't include in the original calculation.
All right.
What do you do when you do math? Do you get a calculator or something?
Yeah, just calculator.
Oh, so you're just using tools and shit. I just use my brain.
All right.
What up, Joel? Thank you, man. Appreciate the super chat. And a member. Salute. He said, what's Verizon's strategy behind doing this move, you guys think? They've been adding lots of value and updates to plans, while the other carriers do nothing to their value brands. All right, so here's my take, Joel. I'm going to think aloud, and the rest of the panel can comment too. I think that Verizon has been trying to do shit like this for a long time, but they haven't had the network to do it. I believe now with a far grander build out of 5G ultra wideband, that they feel confident that they can actually give some premium network experience to the prepaid side. and they can sell those lines for the additional $10 a month in the $35 rate and the $45 rate. So for the people who don't really necessarily need phone subsidies and don't want to deal with postpaid and are good dealing with chats and those kind of things, like they're willing to reward them with better promotional or better rates on plans because they don't have to like support it in stores. So I think it's all part of it. I think it's the Verizon platform with Visible, and I think it's the network is better than it's ever been in terms of capacity availability, so they can monetize it through prepaid and flanker brands. So that's kind of my take. I don't know. What do you guys think on the panel?
Well, I mean, really, this is for everyone. Like, they have all kinds of different brands that target all kinds of different people, but looking from like someone that understands what every single option is offering, really, especially that Visible Plus, the middle plan, that's like a crazy deal. And even for someone who wants the phone subsidy, it's like for a single line, you're looking at, comparing to Verizon postpaid, you're looking at a plan that's either 80 or 90 bucks a month if you want the best phone deals. But if you divide out the cost of the brand new phone you want without a trade-in or anything, just like iPhone 16 Pro over 24 or 36 months. And by the way, Visible does offer 0% APR phone financing through Affirm. If you go on their like shop section there, it'll offer a financing option. And if you add that to the cost of the plan, like let's say you want an iPhone 16 Pro over 36 months, that is $27.78 a month. I use a calculator for that. And then add that to $35, you're looking at $62.78 a month. That's less than 80 and 90 bucks. And it's the exact same access. The one thing you give up with Visible compared to other options that I really like to recommend, the one thing you give up with Visible is over the phone customer support. And I mentioned this in my video about the new Visible plans. They don't have a phone number that you can call into to get customer support. You have to use either the live chat or message them on X or message them on Facebook Messenger. And that's probably fine for a lot of people, especially the people that Visible is targeting, but it might not be as good of an option for like your grandpa or something. And again, that's why they have options for different people. But generally, I still really like Visible, but that's really important to note and understand that they don't offer over-the-phone customer support. They also don't have physical stores as part of their brand strategy to cut those costs to give you just crazy value in the prices of the plans.
Brandon, let me get you in on this, bro. Verizon's strategy behind doing this. Lots of value, updated plans, brands, all that. What's kind of your take on this?
I think it to screw you to the postpaid customer. The Pro Plus plan is really nice. It's really good for somebody that travels to both Canada and Mexico, and it's really good for a college student that needs that boost on the hotspot. Somebody that wants his Netflix a lot and wants that crisp quality. Same thing with YouTube or some of the other streaming services. It's mind blowing that they're offering 15 by 15 on the hotspot, and if you have a cellular one sitting around, you're able to pair that with your plan, and it's a pretty nice plan. I mean, I knew that they were going to come up with the plan. I believe I've even said it before on one of the podcasts, but I never thought that it would be the same price as the Plus service. I mean, it's basically what Visible Plus used to be before, but better.
Yeah, they enhanced it for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that's kind of surprising is that they're giving 1080p to all the like basically Plus and Pro and if they're on 5G or DSS.
Well,
Because
so
there's
the Visible Plus has it on 5G ultra wideband.
Mm-hmm.
The Visible
Okay.
Plus Pro will give it to you on LTE or nationwide too.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and that feature or whatever just went to postpaid recently with the most updated plan, premium plan, the unlimited what is it called? The What's the most expensive Verizon plan called?
The ultimate.
Ultimate. Yeah, that one has it as well. So, yeah, this is the unlimited ultimate prepaid version, right?
I mean, pretty much. And it's like, again, prepaid and postpaid are not products. They're just ways you pay. And this has made it even more clear. It's you can get the exact same general experience either way.
But Max,
Sure.
think about the timing, dog. Like they weren't doing this 3 years ago.
Yeah.
They
Well,
weren't doing this 4 or 5 years ago. I don't think the network could handle it. I think
Right.
this is confidence in the network that it's in a position where it could actually they're okay with a $45 customer doing it. See, they were always okay with a $90 customer doing it.
Oh yeah. But I think it's also something else. Verizon had massive changes to their leadership, especially in the value part of their company, in just the past couple of years. Huge changes in leadership across the board. And of course, we went from Manon to Sampath, I think, in 2023 or 2022. And he had a completely different strategy for the company compared to before. And I remember we had a conversation, something like this, and B, and he was like, yeah. On some earnings call, Han said his reasoning for purchasing TracFone was to get those customers to move up to postpaid. And I don't know when exactly that quote was said, but Verizon's strategy used to be kind of like that. Their value segment used to suck, and the results showed that it sucked because churn was crazy back then. But now they're actually listening to customers. They're offering a genuinely good experience across all of their brands. They're putting thought and care into these brands, which you don't see Cricket doing that. You don't see Metro
I don't see
doing
Cricket
that.
really doing anything.
Right. I mean, it's become stale.
Metro has gotten so expensive.
Right. Exactly. It's becoming stale. Verizon is going in the face of that. Verizon used to be stale. Total by Verizon was trash. But then they fixed it with Total Wireless. They made it a genuinely amazing experience and a genuinely amazing value for the money. Now Visible's getting that treatment. They've given some of their other brands that treatment. Earlier this year, they refreshed the Straight Talk plans to give them the prioritized network access and all that stuff. So they're finally putting thought and care into it, and they're not just treating it like a funnel to get people to eventually move up to postpaid. They're giving people a reason to stay on the lower priced options, which they should.
Yeah. So
I want to say something real quick.
Go ahead.
I like what they're doing, but I just find it kind of weird because the last past, I mean, it feels like every 6 months to a year they're always doing a price hike for postpaid, and sometimes they gain all these customers, and most of the time they lose them, and they're floating around to either AT&T cable or T-Mobile, but it's just kind of weird. But it'll be kind of interesting to see how Total by Verizon actually ends up doing, considering that they're opening more and more stores. But I could see why Cricket and Metro have had all these prepaid customers, considering most of them left out of Boost. Why? Because they have that 30 gig cap, and it's kind of really messed them up. But knowing that there's Cricket and Metro stores, the people that don't know how to pay their bill, or the ones that the non-tech savvy people, the ones that just know how to use their messaging, call, and Facebook are probably the ones that like to go and pay their bill in person.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let's answer this question, and shout out to Josh and Chucky in the chat. What up, guys? This question is from Richard. Is switching to the new Visible Plus plan from T-Mobile Magenta Plus Unlimited 55 a no-brainer? Our T-Mobile plan isn't what it used to be when we signed up years ago. So chances are, Richard, you're paying more because of price increases. So if you're paying an additional $5 per line per month, your bill probably went up $20 to $30 a month.
So let's find out. Let's do a comparison here. First off, how many lines do you have, Richard? That'll be a first comparison, because we're going to find a...
Yeah, but his rate was likely even if you were including any type of free line promotions he took advantage of, I bet you he was paying about $20 a month per line. Now he's with the price increase, he's probably at 25,
All right.
right?
So
And then you think about like what you get for 35 bucks from Visible Plus
yeah,
compared to what he's getting for 25 a month or maybe 30, right? Depending on what he's paying now.
true. You got to make sure Verizon has a really good network in your area before switching to Visible. And there are plenty of
Oh, you
ways
don't
you can
want to
do
be on
that.
that Prio life, dog.
It,
Visible plan, the base could
yeah,
be very, very rough in certain places.
for sure, for sure. I mean, just
But I tell you what, bro, if it's Visible Plus or Visible Plus Pro,
right.
and
Plus,
you're on the priority side of things, you're probably going to enjoy the experience.
yes. So if Verizon has good service near you, then I would go for either Visible Plus at 35 bucks, or maybe look into Total Wireless, or if you got maybe 3 or 4 lines, also Total Wireless, or check in on, all right, 2 lines, $100 a month. So
Okay, so I thought maybe he was on like that four line joint where they gave
yeah,
you where you pay 3 and get 1 free or whatever.
yeah.
Okay. All right, I
So
got you.
so 2 lines, $100 a month. So switching to Visible Plus, you're not going to get a multi-line discount, so it's just 35 bucks a line. That includes taxes and fees, so you're looking at 70 bucks for both lines. For a premium tier plan with premium network access and premium features, that is a really good option. Now, let's check out some other 2-line prices, because I really like Visible and I'm happy to recommend it, but I want to tell you the full story, so I want to show you all the options that there are. So let's see. Right, Total would not be a good option for 2 lines because the multi-line discount isn't that great for 2. Actually, AT&T has a really interesting option for 2 lines if AT&T has a good network in your area. And then I'll also get into T-Mobile, but first I want to pull up this AT&T thing in case they've got a good option or in case they got a good network near you, because this is a really interesting option here. And this is basically like the equivalent to Visible Plus Pro on the AT&T network. So I want to pull this up.
Well, I mean, one thing about these plans, Sneed, if you're on postpaid and you have like a family plan and stuff like that, and you're financing phones and stuff like that, then you're used to financing phones through the carrier because one, there's not probably a carrier, an Apple store or a Samsung store near you or something like that. So most of the time, people are just going to go straight to the carrier and finance their phones, and that's probably why they never really touch prepaid.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. But I mean, like Visible does financing at 0% APR if you qualify with your credit. So they have those options as well if you're interested. Now, Rich, if AT&T's got a good network near you and you're looking for 2 lines, this is actually probably the one I'm recommending. 30 bucks a line for 2 lines on the Unlimited Max plan, which is of course named after me. Now, what do you get in this plan? So you're getting 50 gigs of Prio access on AT&T. So this is probably QCI 8 before you're dropped to QCI 9 after you go over 50 gigs.
Oh yeah, they're definitely dropping you.
Yeah. So actually, let's pick 2 lines here. So Unlimited
But they
Max.
don't have the same network, you know what I'm saying? They just haven't built the capacity as much, you know.
Right. Right. Well, it entirely depends on where you live.
Sure.
Networks
Yeah.
will be different. So, coveragemap.com is what I recommend checking out if you want to find networks, network quality, and network speeds. But 2 lines, 30 bucks a line. Taxes and fees are extra, but what you get here: 50 gigs of prioritized access on AT&T, 25 gigs of hotspot, use in Mexico and Canada,
Mm-hmm.
a 100 gig cloud storage benefit. So if you want to store some photos and files, you no longer have to pay for cloud storage. You get some included here, and you get HT streaming. So you have to bring your own phones, and this is only available at like Walmart and Target. It's not online, and it's not at AT&T stores. But if you buy the SIM kits at like Walmart or any of the national retailers that AT&T sells at, then that's where you can get this plan. But if you got AT&T's network and it's good near you, like, don't you agree, Sneed? This is a pretty solid choice.
It is very good. And so 30 a line at 2 lines. So would you have to open up a separate account and do 2 more lines that same way?
if you wanted to get 4 lines, yes, but I think Rich was
Yeah.
looking for 2.
Oh,
and
okay. Yeah. So the rate's good. So again, if it's the network that's important, and like Verizon ain't that great, or T-Mobile ain't that great, well then that's the move for AT&T access.
Right.
Yup.
Absolutely.
But if AT&T and Verizon are both good, then I'm still looking at Visible to have the extra value, because
Oh, definitely.
having
Yeah.
higher priority network access, I'm having some of those extra perks and benefits.
Can you add turbo on that plan?
No.
I know you can on Max Plus.
Oh, really? You can add it on Max Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
I
okay.
know
Well,
for sure on Max Plus.
that's interesting because I thought it was a postpaid only thing, but
They actually brought that to prepaid, surprisingly.
that's interesting. I'll have to look into that. That's actually really fascinating, Josh. Thanks for bringing that to my attention.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Friends don't let friends get AT&T.
well, if they got a good network, then, if they got a good network, then it's like, it's not terrible. Now I have another option because I know Rich was on T-Mobile before and stayed on T-Mobile for a while, so I'm assuming T-Mobile was a decent option. So I just got one more thing to help Rich out, because this is also a really good one. If you want to stay on the T-Mobile network, this is literally going to cut your bill for 2 lines in half right here. So, we were talking
You
about
can always sign up for Mint Mobile, bro. We got a link for that.
or check this out, because Mint Mobile you got to pay for a year in advance, and with 2 lines that gets pricey.
They got a 3-month promo.
Yeah, but it's like then after that you got to pay for 12 months to get the best price. There's for 1 line there's definitely a cause for Mint Mobile, but this is Metro by T-Mobile. You have to bring your phone and or you can get a new number and bring yours. That's actually brand new. You used to have to port your number in to get this plan. Now you don't. It's new number or bring yours. And you have to bring your phones, 2 lines for $50. And you get unlimited on T-Mobile's network. You get the Taco Tuesdays, you get the Scam Shield, you get all the basic stuff that T-Mobile has to offer on their network. But $50 gets you 2 lines on this unlimited plan for Metro. So if you're fine on the T-Mobile network, Rich, and you can just literally slash your bill in half and get the same 2 lines. And this includes taxes and fees. It looks like it's online only, so you have to sign up online. But I think Metro has something like this at Metro stores if you prefer to shop in person. So just staying on the T-Mobile network, that is a great way to get 2 lines at a low price.
However, I believe that plan's only 35 gig of priority data, but yeah, still a good plan.
Yeah, it is 35 gigs prioritized before you're deprioritized, but the speeds aren't capped after a certain threshold
so it's
or
still
anything.
a good plan.
Yeah.
I wish T-Mobile had a unlimited priority plan on like the prepaid side.
Yeah.
AT&T can do it, and T-Mobile doesn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Man, what's with all this giving away all the chicken, man?
Shit. Dude.
Come on, man. Actually, speaking of
Man,
giving
they're
away
charging
chicken,
too cheap.
yo, Los. So your favorite company is back at it again, and I wanted to discuss this since I got you guys here. So check this out.
Ooh,
Your favorite company, AT&T.
man, get out of here with that bull.
Listen, AT&T, according to the reports from Mike Dano, Randall Jr., AT&T wants to sidestep the FCC's 3.45 gigahertz spectrum cap. They want all the DoD, bro. They want all the 3.45 gigahertz. So right now there's a temporary 40 megahertz cap on that particular part of N77. AT&T maxed out at the auction. They bought 40 megahertz nationwide. They want to be able to buy and or lease, get access to additional bandwidth from companies like Columbia Capital, Sonic Wave, which made deals with T-Mobile to trade, the 3.45 for more N41 and whatever. This would essentially allow T-Mobile to increase the bandwidth in N77. So they'd have 80 megahertz of C-band in the upper portion at 3700. And then the 3450 would go from like 40 megahertz to like 60 or 80 or whatever else. And then something tells me, they're salivating at the idea of maybe getting more spectrum in the DoD from Dish. I mean, Dish doesn't have any customers. They don't even need to build it. Like, think about it, Los. They've got 50 megahertz in my market, and they're doing 500 megabits at near the site. So they're they're, the Boost network isn't void of capacity. There's tons of it. And Dish hasn't even deployed all the frequencies. And to be honest with you, I'm not really a big AT&T guy. You know me, Los. But like, I'm okay with them getting the additional bandwidth because they're the only company that's building this. T-Mobile hasn't built any of it. Dish hasn't built any of it. All these companies like Sonic Wave and Columbia Capital, they're not network builders. They're just spectrum speculators. Like, to them, they're just investments. They're just appreciating assets that they try to sell and lease to the network builders. So, I mean, I'm not I don't like a lot of things that AT&T does, but they already deployed thousands of radios that could broadcast this, and then it could be used for AT&T internet air and mobile capacity and all those kind of things. So I kind of want them to get the approval. I want the FCC to allow them to get more because at least it'll get broadcasted and people could connect to it.
Same.
Well, bro, I don't. You know me, I don't like that scumbag company, but I guess.
American thugs and thieves, Los.
Yep, the American thugs and thieves. That's what they are.
No,
In my
hey,
book.
hey, hold on. So I was on a call with Los recently, and when I told him, Los, tell me your reaction when I told you that I dropped AT&T.
Bro, I was shocked because I knew that was his primary. I just didn't believe it.
Well, he had the home broadband and the mobile services.
Right. Well, and I still got the AT&T fiber, but we went from AT&T postpaid to T-Mobile for like a couple months, and then Total Wireless, which is where we're at now.
I went from AT&T to Total Wireless back in like October.
Yeah, I went back on the same time frame. That's crazy.
I was having latency issues and it was crashing.
If they pay Dish money to use it, so it gives them money to build, then why not? For now.
Yeah.
But when they need it back, because they're going to start building it out, they get it back.
So you don't want them to do Dish the way T-Mobile did?
Yeah, basically, we don't want another T-Mobile situation where they write a letter to the FCC saying, "Oh, but we need to use those licenses
we don't want to pay for it."
Exactly. None's free. Just like they're giving away too much chicken right now, man. Since B ain't here, I got to advocate, man. Too much chicken.
Los, please, no, don't. Los, you don't want to be another B. We've already got one too many.
You've had some very contentious moments on this podcast between Max and B.
I mean,
I hear there's too much chicken being sold.
Well, because I'm here to speak for the consumer. I'm here to speak for the interests of the consumer, and the companies are agreeing that they can offer this plan at this price. So that's the companies deciding that. That's not me deciding that. The Verizon has decided they're going to offer a line as good as this for a price that's really low. So
what Max is saying is he didn't kidnap Hans, tie him up by the gaiters, and then push him to sign the dotted line.
Exactly.
I look at it like this, man. Right now, Verizon's having an identity crisis with all their brands. Like, what the hell? Like, one moment you do one thing and then you're doing the same thing all across your brands, except for minus one little tweak. I don't think it's gonna stick for long. I think it's gonna be a limited time promotion.
And they'll just pull it?
And they'll pull it in. Whoever's grandfathered in will stay.
So you think the price goes from 45 to 50, and then the 35 goes to 40?
Mm-hmm.
And then the 25 probably stays?
Because think about it, Sneed. Like all these prepaid brands they got, and you're given basically the same access all around, except the only difference is you're just choosing like the little perks to decide what you want for your pricing. That's it. That's literally what it is, just the perks.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
All right, guys, let's round this out.
Customer service.
Sure. Let's round this out with this last story. T-Mobile tosses DEI to get its Lumos fiber deal approved. According to reports, T-Mobile's purchase of Lumos, and I think also within the same kind of transactions, is like Metronet. So all these things should probably go ahead and get approved now. I didn't know that this was a major holdup. I mean, obviously T-Mobile is going to comply. They want their deals. So the T-Mobile and Lumos acquisition, that's, I guess, official now that the diversity, equity, and inclusion thing is, I guess, at least for the time being, put on pause or terminated or whatever. I don't know what they call it, shut down. But T-Mobile wanted to start buying some fiber assets. They want to start offloading. They want to start selling fiber. And the FCC has to approve those types of transactions. And T-Mobile's landing page for DEI no longer exists. So it looks like they made good on their promise to FCC Chief Brendan Carr. So that merger and acquisitions will only be approved under DEI policies being eliminated or whatever the case may be. I don't know what the terminology is. T-Mobile went on to say in a statement, quote, "We're stronger when we embrace diversity, and that 63% of the employees identify as members of traditionally underrepresented racial or ethnic groups." And I think that's really probably the only thing we need to mention about this. If you guys were unsure about the direction of the purchase, that acquisition of Lumos, I never thought it was going to be regulated on any level. T-Mobile doesn't really own wireline. They don't have anything so this just gets them in the door. It's a small transaction. I don't even know if Lumos has 500,000 customers. I don't know. I doubt it though. I know they're in 9 or 10 states, so maybe they have 100,000. I don't know. But they're not as big as Lumen, and Lumen's got what, 915,000 fiber customers. I know they have a lot of DSL, but just speaking to fiber. So I guess that's official. So now we'll probably see that transaction close very soon if it hasn't closed officially yet. And then they're going to probably look at the Metronet piece. A lot of us have speculated that maybe they're looking at cable. I know, Carlos, you've talked about it. It's been a topic of conversation. Moose and Zero Cool. I mean, we're talking years ago. You guys were discussing it, so we'll see if that happens. But that kind of gets you guys that update. That's the T-Mobile piece. We talked about AT&T getting more spectrum, potentially with an FCC approval of a waiver to go beyond the 40 megahertz bandwidth. That just makes their connection better in N77. And then obviously the entire Visible thing, obviously that's huge. You guys love Visible. My viewership, every time I make a Visible video, the views are crazy. People got all types of comments and questions. And, I think today we talked about the network access, the value, the cost, the features, which plans we like best, who they're for and stuff like that. So I think we did a pretty good job covering it all. I don't see any specific questions in the live chat. I do see Jose. Shout out to Jose. What's up, Chris? Good to see you, man. Sal's in the house. Salute. What's up, Ron? And yeah, glad to help you, Richard. Thanks for tuning in. And that's why we're here. We're here to help, Shout out to Baby Yodler. What up, man? All right. Josh is saying that AT&T has the largest network. By the metrics, I think they say that it does. So it's pretty big network. Yo, what's up, Al? What's going on, man? Yeah, I don't know if you heard the news about the Visible thing. I know you've been a big Visible guy for years. So I don't know if that means you're going to be changing your plan or looking to get these modern ones, these updated versions. Not sure. What's up, Fizzanking? What is going on? Austin, what's your impressions on these plans, man, from Visible?
Okay, they're very good price. I actually like this. So if you're a single customer and you don't have you don't have a family tree of lines, the $45, especially if you got areas where it goes from ultra wideband to LTE, you're not having speed islands. That's the first thing. The second thing is I was expecting 720p on LTE, but it's 1080p. And then the hotspot, 15 megs unlimited. Where can you find that? I mean, you used to get it with T-Mobile One through a trick when you turned off LTE back down to 4G back in the day. But HSA Plus kind of it went in the garbage can and died. So we had to have a funeral for that. So it's a good plan. I actually like it. I mean, if it goes up $5, like Carlos was saying, that would be still a very good value plan because you get two passes built into the plan and a free Apple Watch plan. And the pass is what I'm talking about is like if you go to Mexico or somewhere else where you have to buy the passes on these lower plans, like the $25 and then the $35 Visible. but overall, they're good plans, Sneed.
Good value, right?
Good value for a single line customer. Yes.
Yeah.
Too much
If-
chicken.
But if you were
Man, we don't get T-Mobile Tuesdays on these plans. That's whatever, Sneed.
But Austin, think about it like this too. Like 2 lines on Visible Plus is $70.
Or even,
How much
or
is
even
2 lines on postpaid Verizon for their middle plan?
More?
I feel like it's
like
$150 or something.
150, I believe. Yeah. And then if you're right now in the Jacksonville,
Or maybe
Florida market,
or maybe what, like it's definitely over 100 and
it's about
heck.
I'd have to crunch numbers.
would it be it'd be like 140 plus taxes, right?
Yes,
So it'd put you at least at 150 bones, at least.
at least. Which right now, if you got a single line if you got a single line, you can walk into a Verizon store tomorrow. It expires if you live in Jacksonville, Florida, but I recommend not doing this. Welcome Unlimited right now has a deal where they stack $20 of bill credits over the next 36 months. You can go with Visible Plus online from your couch after the podcast tonight in Jacksonville, Florida, and get more bang for your buck with that $45 plan.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. That's not just market-based. That's national. So everyone can win on that one. Win-win.
Ron is asking about QCIs. I believe your Visible Plus
QCI
and Visible
8.
Plus Pro will get you the QCI 8.
Yeah.
It's 50 gigs of QCI 8. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it's 50 gigs fully on the Visible Pro. I know Visible Plus, I had it, and I didn't realize.
Doesn't
I
say
didn't
anything
notice
about
any
50
throttling.
gigs.
No, there's no more 50 gig. It's just
Yeah,
all.
that's gone.
It's all QCI 8 now.
And yeah,
QCI 9 on the base, and then QCI 8 for the other 2.
Hey, yo,
Oh,
Sneed.
that's a bigger win-win for them.
Sure.
Guess what I'm gonna do?
What you about to do, Dow?
I'm about to blow it up.
What are you about to blow up, Los?
I'm gonna blow up that new plan, bro. You know me.
Oh, damn.
We're gonna have to see how truly unlimited it is. You know
they're
me.
gonna
I've
throttle
been
you
putting
after
it through the
300
ringer.
they're gonna cut you off or throttle you after 350 gigs.
You think so?
Yeah, that's the Visible's policy. I think something like that. 350 gigs.
Man, we
like
can't have anything nice when Carlos blows it up. Jesus.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Oh.
Well, Carlos,
That's right.
hold
I
on.
ruin it.
Los, hold on.
You.
Los, you talk about too much chicken and then you go, I'm gonna blow it up.
That's right. Because I'm gonna prove that I'm gonna cut the head off the chicken.
No. We all need the chicken. Los, we all
Bro,
need
we like chicken. We like protein. We
Yeah.
the breastises, the drum. We want more chicken, bro. The thighs.
the wings.
I mean, come on, Carlos. When you go to Buffalo Wild Wings, you like your chicken wings. Well, if you cut the head of the chicken off, you won't ever get your chicken wing supply anymore. And of course, when they're extra crispy. Come on.
I personally think Verizon's only giving more
Yeah.
chicken, trying to entice AT&T and T-Mobile customers to switch over.
Okay,
They're
but,
trying to
the-
get that
But
shit.
who is this? But who is it targeting? Is it targeting the Cricket customer? Is it targeting AT&T prepaid branded? Proper, or is this going to get any Metro customers? Like, I don't know, bro, because very typically people on Metro are going to the stores, and people on Cricket are going to stores. There's no visible stores.
This is where Verizon needs to clean up, bro. Is if they really want to make postpaid a thing, what they need to do is do what AT&T is doing with that $50 plan that they have, that hidden plan. I think it's like 50 or 55 bucks. Where if you do 12 on time payments, you get 0% down and get graduated to postpaid.
Oh, yeah, to level up.
Yeah, T-Mobile does the same thing, bro, with Metro. Now, if Verizon does the same thing, bro, then I think more people will be enticed to it, especially people with challenge credit, because they'll be like, you know what, I've always wanted Verizon, but I knew I couldn't afford it, and eventually now I can get on this access right now, and then later on I can get myself the phone I want at 0 down, and be on Verizon.
Well, it's not even that. Like I said, in the Jacksonville, Florida market, Verizon right now is advertising Welcome Unlimited, which we all know that plan. Sneed could say, the rest he could say.
Trash.
$20 bill credits for the next 36 months. Meanwhile, this plan gives you more value at $45 per month. So we're comparing the promotional deal for the next 24 hours at the local Verizon store in the Jacksonville, Florida market. Like I said, this one's better.
This deal is just better.
I'm sorry.
Dustin with the super chat. Dustin, I'm not sure what you're referencing here. I get the analogy or whatever, but I don't know.
Where's
B? Pointing out the dirty spot of the gold. I get it, man. That was like, do you guys remember the Tupac analogy
Oh God.
when he was talking about how the rose that grew from the concrete, how it had damaged petals, and everybody's like, "Oh no, it's a flower and it's a rose and it's got these damaged petals," and it's like, well, what about the fact it's growing out of the concrete? You know what I'm saying? Like, so maybe that's kind of what Dustin is saying, right? Like, it's worth celebrating the good, not just pointing out the bad. Thanks, Dustin. Appreciate you, man. Very nice of you to support the channel.
Where's B when I want to troll him?
Mr. Chicken himself.
Austin, I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
Yo, he be off them Ferragamos, bro.
Oh, there might be a coffee talk on Austin's Tech tomorrow, by the way.
Oh, cool, man. Yo, shout out to Joel and shout out to Dustin for the super chats tonight. Shout out to my mods. Shout out to everybody. I have to bounce off of the live stream here. If anybody has any kind of closing remarks, but we'll kind of conclude the show. You guys got anything for me?
Too much chicken.
Too much chicken, Los says.
Oh, there goes Los, and there's too much chicken.
Just enough chicken. No more.
All right, guys. Thank you. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys on the next live stream. Take it easy.
Peace.
Late.
Peace. Yo.